Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your first weekly reading with me. This is for the week of April 4th through the 10th, and I'm trying this different angle on this video just so you guys can see what I'm doing down here, because in my other videos I had it so you could just see me and I was like holding up the cards. I'll still probably have to hold them up, but this way you can just see what's going on down here. But, okay, so normally I'm not going to do this much talking. I'll just get right into it. But since this is the first one, I wanted to kind of like give a quick little rundown of how I'm going to do this reading. So I will draw 4 different sets of tarot cards. The first set will be, will represent your career and finance. The second will be, did I say second? The first set will be career and finance. Second set will be your home and health and home. The third set will be your love and romance, and your fourth set will be the advice and kind of just like the outcome and overall feel for the week. And then I will also at the end draw a oracle card just to get like an extra little tidbit of energy goodness for the week. And since these readings are general and I'm reading for a large group of Aquarians, every single message the cards give off probably, isn't going to resonate with you specifically. So you just kind of have to pick and choose what resonates, apply it to your life. Also, another good idea is to check the videos for your rising sign and your moon sign. That can also help you get a more full perspective and a bigger picture for the week as well. If you don't know your rising sign or moon sign, send me a message with the time and place you were born, and I can figure that out for you, or you can just go online, and there are many ways to figure out that information for yourself. I'm going to go ahead and let that one hang out with us. Oh, can you see it? Yeah, or you can go ahead and message me for a personal reading. Okay. So I'm drawing 2 cards for each set. I mean, you can't really see what I'm doing anyway, but oh well. Okay. I'm feeling lots of like having to pull out your smarts this week. And I'm not meaning like being a smart ass. It's like having to pull out, like showing your true wisdom, pulling that old soul of yours out and actually, presenting it to the masses or whatever, using that this week to your advantage. Okay. So for career and finance, we have the 6 of Earth and the elemental of water. And elementals represent the pages in the traditional tarot, if you're familiar with the traditional tarot. And the pages, for me, I think for most people, are messengers in a way. So, and this is the same. The elemental of water kind of is a message on like an emotional level. So what I'm feeling is somebody might be feeling a little bit betrayed in the workplace, or maybe you're feeling like a little bit insecure about what it is that you're doing. Like you're kind of reevaluating if you're headed in the right direction. And you're feeling that. It's on an emotional level. Somebody could be picking on you too in the workplace. Like, there could be people who are kind of like ganging up on you and maybe like gossiping against you or something like that. Like, you're just kind of feeling like the odd man out a little bit. Yeah. So it's like, this card kind of reminds me of gossip, like rumors and gossip and like just that kind of crap. And this card is kind of like, these guys are ganging up and these guys are like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, aw, you know? And but really nobody's looking like they're too happy about it. And a lot of times, okay, it's like a lunchroom scenario. Like, okay, we have this table of people who are like catty and like acting like nobody else can come sit with them. It's like the you can't sit with us scenario. And really, like, there's a couple guys who maybe work at the same workstation with these guys, and you're like, well, you know, those guys are actually really good guys. Why are we being mean to them? And it's like this one guy's like, well, we have to be mean to him because of this, that, and the other reason. But really, nobody's really that on board. It's like everybody's just kind of like going with it because they have to, you know, to try to like fit in. So yeah, maybe you just started like a new business endeavor and you're just getting your footing and you're trying to fit in with that, but you're just feeling a little insecure. Yeah, I'm just getting a feeling of just insecurity. It's not like financial insecurity. It's like just not feeling super confident in your workplace, or feeling like people are teaming up on you, or feeling like you kind of have to just go with what the company is doing type deal. There might also be some like gossip and those kinds of things going on too. But whatever you're feeling towards work is on an emotional level. Or whatever is going on towards work is affecting you on an emotional level is a better way to put it. Okay. Water. Okay, so for your home and health, we have the 6 of water and the 7 of earth. So, okay, the 7 of earth card is like adapting to your environment. It also could mean testing the waters. Because the ocean is such a vast place. There's like a shark down here, and then we have this like dolphin dude up here. So it's like I'm just feeling adapting to the environment. Beware of sharks in the water. You know, but remember that not everybody is a shark also. Okay? Sharks and dolphins look similar. That's another thing to remember as well. Yes. They both have that dorsal fin that confuses people sometimes, you know. And then this card is like my art card. It represents finding love in your hobbies, finding your passions again. If you're a musician, it represents, you know, playing music. There's like, she's holding beautiful jewelry here. So it's just like appreciating the finer things, appreciating art. Maybe don't be so skeptical of everybody around you. Like if you just moved into a new house or something and you're skeptical about your roommates, don't view everybody as a shark in the water, you know, appreciate the beauty of things. Or maybe you did have some conflict, you're just coming out of conflict with somebody and you guys are just finding your in the home and you're finding your grounding again, you know. Try to appreciate, you know, the good times, or the beauty of the situation, rather than just continuing to test the waters and continuing to view everybody as a shark in the water. Yeah, and as far as like health goes, I think taking time to appreciate your art, if you have a hobby, getting back into that if you haven't for a while, or just yeah. These cards kind of go together too. So I'm thinking maybe like whatever's going on at work is affecting your home life too. Like maybe because these people are being so catty and like gossiping, and you're feeling really left out and down at work, you're coming home and you're kind of feeling the same way, and you're forgetting that at home is where you're safe, and at home is where you can make yourself, feel better. You don't have to have all this anxiety. I just feel like you're whatever's going on at work is just really affecting you. Maybe you live with coworkers. Message me if that's a thing. If you live with coworkers. But yeah. If things aren't going the best at home, maybe focus on the art, or maybe art is what's going to bring everybody together. Maybe you guys have all just, moved in and you've come from different walks of life. You're all different, but the one thing that can bring people together, which, this is actually true all over the world, something that brings people together is art and the finer things in life. And the finer things, I want to take that out actually, because some people perceive that as like having really expensive, like bougie things, and that isn't always what the finer things in life are. Okay. For love and romance, we have the Crone of Air. Ooh, wow. Crone of Air and the Mother of Air. Two really strong air cards, and usually these represent other people outside yourself, but not in every case. But somebody is withholding information 100%. There is information being withheld in this particular relationship. If you're not in a romantic relationship, this could also represent a relationship with yourself. Soulmates can also be friends. It's that deeper love. It's not necessarily your family love that we take care of in the health and home department, but there's definitely just information being withheld, and there's definitely somebody that's trying to control the amount of information that somebody is receiving, or they're trying to hold something over somebody's head by withholding information. I'm also feeling like somebody's being like, there might be some like, okay, this is where when general readings get a little hairy for me, because I don't want to give too many specifics and like have people freaking out, because this is general, not every detail is going to apply to everybody. But one of the things I am getting is like there might be some like mental and verbal abuse situations going on, somebody being very harsh with their words, and trying to like manipulate in a way the thoughts of others. Like somebody is just really trying to hide something, or really withholding information and using that to control another person. And if you're in that kind of situation, that's no good for anybody. And if you are the person who's doing that to somebody, I'm just advising you to take a look at why exactly you are acting in that way. The information being held doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. It's just feeling like it is. This could also be, the one person is hiding something and the other person is like doing everything in their power to figure out what it is. Like, you already know that they're hiding something and you're trying to figure it out. And don't jump to conclusions about what it is. I mean, it could be different for everybody. It could be that you feel like, you know, somebody isn't keeping their integrity or something like that. And, you know, maybe you've heard about it. Maybe you had messages coming towards you. I'm feeling like somebody maybe got a text from somebody or something. Okay, here's a scenario that just kind of played out in my head. I feel like, and this is really specific, so that if this is you, message me and let me know. Some way, let me know if this is you, because this is a little specific. But I'm feeling like somebody was withholding information, and messages started coming into the other person that the information was being withheld from, that kind of like, and now they can use this information to like get it out of the other person. So like, say one person did something and they're trying to keep it a secret, and then the other person had like I'm feeling a text or like a message or something, like a literal message came in, and this person's like, oh, now I see, like, you're withholding some information, so now I can use what I know against you. It's like somebody's using what they know against the other person to try to get something out of them. But really, like, if you're in a relationship and you're trying to build with somebody, there shouldn't be that going on, because you're not going to be able to grow together if you're withholding information. So, I mean, you're just really, in the end, selling yourself short. What's the point? I don't get the point of being and putting, you know, effort and time into the relationship if you're not even going to allow yourself to reap the benefits. And you can't reap the benefits if you aren't putting out there the benefits that you want to be reaping. If you're withholding information from somebody, then they have every right to withhold information from you. You can't expect them to, you know, be open and honest with you if you're not doing the same. So if you're planning on staying in this partnership, open up a little bit more and, you know, let the other person in. Be a team. Work on these things together. Yeah. And if you are mentally or verbally abusing somebody or having that done to you, take a look at either why you're doing it or why you're putting up with that, because you don't have to. Okay, for the advice and overall outcome of the week, we have the Mother of Earth and Mabon. So I'm feeling like all of this is okay. If the information isn't going to be put on the table in regards to this relationship situation, it's going to just create more and more conflict, and eventually somebody is going to cut their losses and walk away, which might be really what you need to do. If, you know, all this negative bullshit is going on in your relationship, that really might need to be what you're doing. Instead of pointing fingers at the other person saying, well, you know, didn't tell me this, and well, you didn't. Just forget it. Like, move on, you know? Either stop pointing fingers at each other and change that pointing finger into a helping hand to pull this person up out of the darkness here, out of this pit, or turn around and go your separate ways. But sitting there and pointing fingers at each other isn't going to get anybody anywhere. Another thing that I always notice about this card is that, like, they both have baskets full of food. And it's like, okay, well, this person has maybe apples and bananas, and the other person has like the grapes and the peaches or whatever. You know, I'm just pulling stuff out. But, and she's like, well, I wanted to get some peaches, and well, I want, you know, and like, it's like they could just share what they have if they would stop, you know, pointing fingers at each other. They could just, you know, she could help her out, and they could share what they have in their baskets together. You know? And this is somebody who's alert. This is somebody who's becoming aware. So maybe you weren't aware, okay, like in the business place, maybe you weren't aware that people were ganging up on you, and you become aware of it suddenly. You know? Or maybe with this, you're becoming aware that you have, you know, some hidden talents or some hobbies that, for this, if you are living in a new situation, you guys are realizing that you have things in common with the people that you live with. You're finding common ground in the household situation. That kind of just helps clear that up a little bit. You're finding things that can bring you guys together as a home unit. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and pick a oracle card to see if we can clear all this up, because this has already been a really long reading, and I don't want to have these take all day, or take up all of your guys' time. Aquarius, final guidance. Okay. Damara, guiding children. It says, you are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. And that could be absolutely 100% literal. If a lot of you have, I know I do, you know, my job is taking care of kids. I've been doing that for about 10 years now. And so I know this is quite literal applying to my life. I'm an Aquarian myself. But it also could be nurturing the child within you. Maybe you've been just like taking things way too seriously, and you're having all of this like, maybe just having a childlike approach this week, and bringing about a sense of like childlike, I don't want to say behavior, because I can, you don't want to act like a child, but just having that sense of just joy, and not having everything be so heavy, bringing some light to some situations, making time to play. And I think that could be very healing, because it just seems like there's a lot of like people going against each other, or you just feeling like this emotional anxiety, or I don't really know specifically. There's a lot of different emotions going on here, but it's not necessarily the most light of feelings. So I think this might mean, unless it's literally if children are very prevalent in your life, I think this just means bring that childlike energy to this week. You know, if you have children, spend a lot of time with them. Spend time, you know, just finding the common ground with other people. And being open and taking care of each other. Yeah, and honor the child within yourself too, and that could really help a lot of these scenarios too. Okay, all right, I've talked a lot in this video, so I am going to go ahead and be done for this week. This was a kind of a heavier vibe to the reading. So message me if you would like a personal reading, because I'm interested to see what's going on with people, because that was just an interesting reading. But yeah, enjoy your guys' week, and thank you for letting me do this reading for you, and yeah.